episode 22 of the CopTalk podcast. Joined again tonight by, well, actually, we don't have everybody tonight. We've got Mark and Ed. Welcome back, guys.
Ed's going to get a regular on the show.
Yeah, and I guess Jim, I don't know, I guess he's swelling up somewhere because he got stung by bees, or I don't know.
I heard he got stung by a wasp and his arm swelled up, so it's nice to see him have an experience with something blowing up besides his little dolls at home or something, but I'm sure he'll join us to explain.
Or his barbecue. I do believe he has a blowing up barbecue problem that I believe if people want to donate to the Jim Barbecue Fund, I think that he could probably use a new barbecue.
You know, maybe he was chasing the wasp out of the barbecue, and that's how it happened.
Yeah, that could all end in tears.
Hey, I kind of missed Jim's intro, you know, that welcome to episode 22.
Well, I don't.
Yeah.
So,
hey Ed, it's 104 here. What's the weather like in Arizona now?
Well, because we got the wind blowing about 40 miles outside.
Hey, how about the Reader's Digest version?
We got a monsoon in progress, and it's dropped from 115 to 101 in the last hour.
115?
Yeah. Yeah, it was 115 in the shade. 115 in the shade about an hour ago. Now it's 101.5.
Wow.
I was driving home from work. It said 108 in my truck today. So
it said it, or you had to look at it?
It actually said it.
Oh.
My truck has Ford Sync. It talks to you.
Yeah, California has been unusually cool with 70 and 80 degree weather. San Francisco hasn't got out of the 50s or 60s all summer, so they hit 90 today.
That's about 1,000 at my house.
Yeah,
that's when you call in sick in San Francisco.
Yeah, we finally got a little warm weather in California. Hey, one thing I want to do, which Ed forgot to do last time, is welcome the Iron Warriors back.
Oh, absolutely.
Can't believe you forgot that. You're a member. I'm not even a member yet, and forgot.
That's the Iron Warriors Nation.com.
Yeah, they gave us a little spot on their They gave us a little spot on their website if it's still there after Jim's comments. And
absolutely.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they've taken it down.
If you're a police officer, or a firefighter, or you're retired or otherwise, and you want to join a nice club, look us up.
And that covers what areas?
There's about 18 or 20 states. We got California, Nevada, Arizona, Montana, Idaho, half a dozen different states down in the south.
You only got 6 of them before you gave up.
Well, actually, there's 17 or 20 states, I think, and Florida's just had a new chapter open. We have a whole bunch, actually. It's getting bigger and bigger all the time. It's a great
And
club.
what do they ride, Ed? They won't let Jim in.
They ride American-made V-twins, which makes the club pretty exclusive.
Yeah, it's
could be a Victory or could be a Harley, one or the other.
Great club, great people, a lot of fun. Welcome Iron Warriors back. Hopefully you're still listening after Jim's rant. And, you know, me and Jim both cap on it. You know, me and Ed both have Harleys. We ride Harleys. Jim has some motorcycles parked next to his defunctional barbecue, and the motorcycles once in a while start, but they're not Harleys. He caps on Harleys because he can't afford one, and he drools over mine when he comes over to my house. So a little bit of good fun. He'll cap on Harleys just because he doesn't have one. Brent, he rides, but he doesn't have any motorcycles, so I don't know what he rides. But anyway.
I have a fully restored Honda Z50 from 1969.
That is right. You do the little Z50s, mini trails. Those are cool. Hey,
Ed, don't be mocking it, man.
No, I was making fun of the thunder outside. It's really coming down pretty heavy.
85. Yeah, okay. Yeah, 85cc big bore kit's probably louder than your Harley.
That sounds like the Hodaka I first rode in 1970.
Hodaka.
Yeah, you remember those Hodakas? I think it was a 5-speed.
I race the vintage motocross now, and they have all the little Hodaka Super Rats and all the Wombat Combats and all those other little things out there. They're pretty
cool. So now that we've turned the show into This Week in Motorcycles.
Hey, anyway, welcome Iron Warriors, and so now on with the show.
What are we going to talk about this week? Because we have a few things. One's kind of boring. One's kind of interesting. And then there's the stuff that Mark usually talks about. So do you want to start?
Oh, here we go. No, one thing I just saw probably less than 10 minutes ago was very cool. I can't find the video to send you.
Are you supposed to say that that's cool?
It was cool looking.
The guy's in critical condition.
But it was cool looking, all right?
Okay,
Walk out, and all of a sudden it shows a newscast, and it said this guy was passing a trooper well over 100 miles an hour. It shows the video cam from the trooper driving down the freeway, and this guy's on the shoulder or on the inside where they're doing construction of the freeway going over 100 miles an hour, and the car hits something and launches airborne, goes probably 20 feet in the air, and it hits the big supports of an overpass, and the car just disintegrates all over the freeway.
And do you know where this happened or no?
No, did you see it, Ed?
Yeah, I did online, as a matter of fact. It was awesome.
Oh, you got to find out where it's at. It just happened not too long ago, and they said the guy had just gotten out of jail not too long ago. I thought it was within hours of getting out of jail. This guy decides to go well over 100 miles an hour, and luckily he injured himself instead of some innocent person. But I guess getting out of jail pumps you up a little bit. Pretty cool video. Try to find that and send it to Brent.
Yeah, I can't find it, but I was looking. It looks like our entire mountain out here is on fire. That's awesome.
Yeah, there's that's one thing with fire stuff. They had another one yesterday, a nearby city, and it started right next to the freeway. And what does that tell you?
That I was smoking in the area?
Yeah, an idiot. And I'll call him an idiot, and I'll take credit for that. People are idiots when they're
I'm an idiot.
When they're throwing cigarettes out the window with dry grass on the side of the freeway and it's 100 degrees outside, you're an idiot. You know, if you don't have an ashtray in your car, get a water bottle, put a little bit of water on the bottom, and use that as an ashtray. Don't throw your cigarettes out. But what was so cool about it is as the fire took off and headed toward a multi-hundred unit apartment complex, there was a worker in the area on a big cat doing some construction in the area, and he saw the fire heading up the hill. He took his cat up to the top of the hill, and he made a big fire break in front of the fire, and it slowed it down enough so where when firefighters and the helicopters got there, they were able to put it out. So the guy's kind of a hero. They interviewed him on the news, and he said, all in a day's work. So it's pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Drive a big Caterpillar, you could just fire break right through that big, oh, man.
Well, he did. He was just doing construction up there for the house.
Things you could do, the damage you could do with like a D9. So, let's see here.
There's a few areas in the city me and Ed used to work that we used to think it'd be pretty cool to put one of those on autopilot and just send it straight down to the city.
Like a remote control one?
Exactly.
Yeah, watch all the crack dealers run.
So there was a huge, and I mean huge, methamphetamine bust in Gilroy.
Oh, that was, you had NARC officers saying that they've been in in the business for over 20 years, and they were just stunned. They said, we've never seen anything like this whatsoever.
So that's 500 pounds of methamphetamine and cocaine.
Very high quality stuff.
I think my best pop was like 6 ounces, and I was proud, patting myself on the back.
So you think 500 pounds, that would have made you sort of the dude?
I'd have been a Mac Daddy at dope.
Only 100 million in street value in one home. It's pretty good. So
yeah, they said it was a major operation run by 3 Mexican nationals.
Right. So it was cartel.
Yeah, Mexican
nationals. So that's i.e. they forgot to get documented when they crossed the border.
Forgot?
Yeah, they forgot to stop and register.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Right.
Did you forget to stop at the border?
They have a different name for them here in Arizona.
Yeah, it's and that reminds me when I had moved into me and my wife had bought a house, and my wife actually opened up a daycare so she could stay home and watch the kids. She had heard a gunshot behind the house and called me to see what was going on, and it turned out that they did a raid on the house right behind me. The borders my fence, and I had to shoot a pit bull in the backyard. There was an actual meth lab in operation in the house, and they had to do some evacuations. It was actually down under the floorboards, bubbling in operation, and they said if it blew up, it would have taken out close to a half a block in each direction. And here my wife, is running a daycare there. And but you never know. It turned out where it was run by a bunch of Hell's Angels. They had rented the house. I guess I should have known right after we moved in on New Year's Eve. I heard a bunch of automatic gunfire at midnight. I mean, not just gunfire, but automatic gunfire.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
Are you sure wasn't that in my old neighborhood there, Mark?
Yeah.
On the west side?
No, this was in my neighborhood, and then you heard all the motorcycles coming and going, and it was a Hell's Angels group, and they had a meth lab there, and they shut it down, and it turned out maybe the guy wasn't renting. I think he owned it because they busted it a second time. He had another lab there, and that time they claimed it. They took the house. They towed his Corvette out, took everything in there. So, but I'll tell you, it could happen anywhere. People with the meth now, people are making it in motel rooms. I mean, you could go with the family down to Disneyland and be staying in a hotel room, and there might be somebody with a mini meth lab in the room right next to you. You just never know.
Well,
It's so easy to make now.
When we studied narcotics before I got into narcotics, they touched on on the lower end motels. I'm not going to mention names, but that actually when they do cooks inside
We have
the
enough
motels,
lawsuits stacked up already.
yeah, I mean the lower end motels where they call them the mobile meth labs, the fumes actually permeate into the sheetrock, and you can get sick from that and not even know it when you go and rent these low end motel rooms. So it's and a lot of times they disconnect the smoke alarms inside the room so they don't set them off, and then they turn the bathroom vent on and trying to suck some of the fumes out, but it winds up going into the sheetrock and all the furnishings and all that.
Well, plus pouring the chemicals down the drains, the stuff stays in the drains, and
it's crazy.
And along with that,
Crazy
and
stuff.
bed bugs, you're set.
I only rent hotel rooms by the hour. I'm good.
That's better than Jim. Jim rents them by the 20 minutes.
Yeah, 10, 15 minutes.
That's giving him a bit of time, huh?
That's time to shower. So
Poor guy, he's up to 20 minutes now.
yeah, well, I don't think that poor guy's going to make it in here, because when he does, we're just going to be like, see ya.
Yeah.
So over the past few shows, we've looked at, I don't know, many different crimes that cover many different, well, basically, we've never defined what the crimes really are. Why don't we take a few minutes to just talk about what crimes are and the different levels of, so we have infraction, we have misdemeanor, we have felony. But we say this all the time, but we don't really know. I mean, the listeners don't know what these are potentially. So why don't we take a couple minutes to just discuss what those are and get them out of the way so that people know what they are.
Because that's the boring part. So
it really is. I mean, it's only a paragraph in the book, but it's something that you have to sort of understand it to know what's going on and how it affects other things. So why don't we just go over, you want to sort of hit on each of those real quick?
Yeah, I mean, basically infractions are something you get a traffic ticket for. You get pulled over, speeding, stop sign, whatever. They cite you for it. That's an infraction. They release you, at least in California. I mean, some places you have the right to be taken before a judge right away. And if in California, if you refuse to sign your citation, then they got to take you to jail. But infraction is something really minor. You get cited for littering, you get cited for speeding, stop sign, whatever. It's basically a ticket that you're promised to appear in court. It's something.
So
There's also, and correct me if I'm wrong, unless it's changed since I retired, it has to be committed in the officer's presence in order for him to do that cite, unless it's a juvenile, correct?
Right. There's no citizen's arrest or anything on that kind of stuff. I mean, you'll get people pulling up next to you in a patrol car saying, officer, I just saw that person run a red light. Hey, there's nothing we can do about it. We have to witness it.
Right. It has to be on viewed by the officer.
Right. Well, basically misdemeanors, too. We'll get to that.
But it's not
point.
It's not on my criminal record.
No, it may go on your driving record, or if it's littering, it may go. It's something small, and most of the time there's a fine associated with it. But very rarely will you see warrants put out for infractions or anything. I mean, sometimes they do if they build up or if it's a high amount, but it's a pretty minor thing. It can go on your record, but it's minor.
And if it goes on my driver's record, how long is it there?
Good question, Brent. We'll have to look that up and get back to you. I think it's like 7 years or 8 years or something like that.
I think it's still 7 years, because a lot of people, I think, used to believe it was 3.
No,
and now it's 7, and you're sort of stuck with it till your, 7th year.
I believe it's 7. And, infractions are mainly traffic violations and minor stuff. Now, other traffic
Speeding,
stuff, there are misdemeanor traffic stuff like driving without a license, suspended license. Those are misdemeanors. Drunk driving's a misdemeanor and sometimes a felony. So traffic stuff can be bumped up to a misdemeanor in some instances, but
Okay, so let's talk about misdemeanors. What's the difference?
petty theft, assault, and all those will carry stuff. If the value of stolen property is over $400, that's the difference between a misdemeanor and a felony. If you steal $401 worth of stuff, it's a felony. You steal $399 worth of stuff, it's a misdemeanor. So next time you go shoplifting, make sure you take your calculator with you.
So is it 1 year incarceration in county jail, up to $1,000 fine, or both?
And or
you can get both,
and
right?
or yeah.
Okay.
Just a quick note on infractions here in Arizona. I was surprised to learn that a speeding ticket here, which is generally an infraction in most places, if you're 20 miles per hour over the posted speed limit, it becomes an arrestable offense.
Ooh.
So it goes from a misdemeanor actually it goes from an infraction to a misdemeanor. So if it's 35 and you're going 56, you're arrestable. So I think California, you have to be doing 100, isn't it? Or on
it's
the
like
freeway?
double speed, isn't it?
Yeah, something crazy.
Like that.
But here they don't play games. It's 20 miles an hour over posted limit. Bang, he has the option to hook you and take you.
Wow.
Well, doesn't it become reckless? Is that what we do here? That's the as soon as it
over 100
goes
miles an hour, you could go reckless, and it's a misdemeanor.
reckless.
We have a judge out here. He's a stud in traffic court. If someone's going over 15 miles an hour over the limit, and they appear in his courtroom for the traffic ticket, he'll say, "By chance you happen to have your license on you?" And they'll say, "Yes." They go, "Give it to the bailiff," and he'll take it. He'll say, "Your license is suspended for 30 days." So it's very cool. Over 15 miles an hour over the limit, he suspends their license right then and there in the courtroom. If they drive away, he'll have an officer stop them and impound their car for 30 days. So it's pretty cool.
I better slow down.
Yeah, but
So
misdemeanors,
from
I mean,
misdemeanor,
there's so many of them out there. Petty theft, assault, basically stuff that is more serious than an infraction, but not enough to be a felony. Generally, you have to go to court on misdemeanors. Sometimes you may get a little time. Generally, there's a fine attached to it. You got to pay a fine if you're found guilty. But you could get, like you said, up to a year in jail or $1,000 fine or both.
just butt in any time, Ed.
Well, no, I was trying to catch him in between, so wasn't being rude. But misdemeanor has to be committed in your presence, with the exception of juveniles and some domestic violence, correct?
Right, juveniles, you could go there that night, the next day. You could still arrest them, or you could do a citizen's arrest.
Well, and domestic violence becomes incredibly confusing when it's in California. So
domestic violence,
that's something
a lot of it is
we should leave some time for that.
Must take. But like your simple assault, like on the street Ed used to live on, where it happened every day. Somebody gets mad because their neighbor's got a weed whacker out there. He goes out and he punches his neighbor in the face. The neighbor calls the police and she says, "I want him arrested." Well, he says, "Fine, you put him under citizen's arrest." I mean, it doesn't mean you hand the handcuffs to the neighbor and he arrests him, but if he signs a citizen's arrest form, everybody's entitled to have somebody else arrested for a crime, and then the liability's on them. If there's any kind of, false arrest or anything, it's going to be on the person requesting the citizen's arrest.
Well, that's cool, because we'll leave that topic for next week.
All right. And like Ed, we'll get into assault with deadly weapons. That was another thing that I personally witnessed going to Ed's house one night. He used to live in the regular OK Corral over there. It was
Tweaker Zone where I used to live, and
it's live entertainment. When I went to Ed's house on a Friday night, you see people running across the street, bashing each other in the head with baseball bats, bleeding all over the place, and you just got to dodge the pedestrians. Before I got to Ed's house, and I got to Ed's house, I go, Ed, I just saw someone get cracked over the head with a bat, and he's bleeding up there. And Ed goes, "You want a beer?" Regular thing for him.
That was Friday night entertainment there.
Just pull up the chairs and watch the neighborhood.
Oh yeah.
You'd be sitting on chairs, and I hear a pow, pow, pow. I go, "You hear that?" And Ed would go, "Hear what?"
Yeah. Gunfire? Bah, whatever. So misdemeanor, then you move into felony.
Felony is the serious stuff. I mean, drug possession could be a misdemeanor. A lot of it's a fine line. A lot of the crimes, drug possession, assaults, different things, it could be a misdemeanor or it could be a felony, depending on the amount, depending on the injuries. Just like DUI, drunk driving could be a misdemeanor, but if you injure somebody while you're doing it, other than yourself, it's a felony. Assault, you punch somebody in the face, it's a misdemeanor. You use a hammer and whack them upside the head, it's a felony. So it all depends on the circumstance, but the felony is the serious stuff. That's where you get arrested and usually do some time, minimum 3 to 5 years in prison. I forgot what the fine is, but that's serious stuff. And a lot of repeat offenders are being charged with felonies and going to prison for 25 to life.
Well, that's a 3-strike deal, right?
Now the 3-strike stuff is interesting because even if they had assault with a deadly weapon and a robbery on their record, even if it was many years ago, they could be arrested for petty theft with priors, which means they could steal a $2 candy bar, but if they have prior thefts, it's charged as a felony, and technically that could be the 3rd strike to put them away.
So what are you in state pen for? I stole a Hershey bar?
Big hunk, yeah.
Big hunk. Got it.
And he can get the big hunk in prison. So
felony.
But
wow.
Oops, sorry.
If somebody gets caught stealing the first time, the simple shoplift, they steal something up to $400. Anything under $400 is going to be charged as a misdemeanor. But if you have that prior on your record, which stays on there forever, if you go out and get caught shoplifting again, it's petty theft with priors, and they charge that as a felony. And I see a lot of people going to prison over petty theft with priors.
Yeah, no, it's pretty scary. I know I've seen, when I worked in the jail, there was a bunch of guys in there that were in there for, really petty crimes, but had priors, and we're all worried about going to state because of the
big hunk issue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They didn't want the big hunk, apparently.
Right.
Wasn't as good as it sounded. Even though that's a pretty good candy bar, that's not that fun in state pen.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone was really interested in it, they could go to the penal code and look up. They're just, we could spend 48 hours nonstop talking here and not even touch it with the amount of crimes and, the difference between the things. But just to touch on it and keep it less boring, like we were talking about, infraction, mainly traffic stuff. Misdemeanor is an arrestable offense, but not major, and the felony is what you want to stay away from. A felony charge also will keep you from getting any state government job, firefighter job, police officer. Any felony on your record keeps you from getting a lot of good jobs, and a lot of people don't like hiring people that got felonies on their record.
Yeah, I try to avoid that.
Substantial amount of misdemeanors now will get you out of a job also. Domestic violence misdemeanors.
Hey, you have an ugly picture on Facebook. You're not getting hired by me.
Who, me?
Anybody. Oh. I got to tell you, as somebody who employs people, the first thing I do is Google and look in Facebook. And if you're in there and you have naked pictures on your Facebook, you're not going to get hired.
Yeah, you see people holding up guns and whiskey bottles, smoking.
Check it out. Look what I did all last week. I partied. Okay, I don't want to hire you.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why.
Oh, my God, is that Ed?
Yeah. That's why Ed said, what, my picture on Facebook?
I got to tell you, Ed, I can't believe you could do that stuff on a motorcycle, but hey, you proved me wrong.
Good job, dude.
Yeah. I had the Harley with an AR-15 in my left arm.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly.
Man shot in the head, but notices only 5 years later. Oh, my God, did you see that?
Who?
Police say a man living in Germany was shot in the back of his head, but it took him 5 years to realize it.
He must be related to the blonde who got shot with the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Oh. Police said Tuesday the 35-year-old man was hit by a .22 caliber bullet in the western town of Herne as he was out on the street partying and drunk on New Year's 5 years ago. He recalled receiving a blow to the head, but told them he didn't seek medical assistance at the time. The bullet did not penetrate the skull, and police said the Polish man only went to see a doctor recently when he felt a lump on the back of his head. An X-ray showed the object under his skin, and they operated and found the projectile. Police said it may have been a stray bullet fired by a reveler in celebration. Wow, 5 years later.
Well, I've been to Germany, and they have some parties.
I've seen 2 people shot in the forehead with a .45, and all it did is go under the skin, travel around the back, and go out the back of the head.
That's what we call lucky.
Yes, very lucky.
I see the guy
Because if I got shot with a .45, my whole head would explode.
Yeah, I saw that gangbanger years ago. He got they did a drive-by on the poor guy, shot him, and it bounced off the back of his head, but it took a piece of his skull with him, and you could actually see the material inside of his head. He was standing there going, "Man, my head hurts." I'm thinking to myself,
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah, they'll need to patch that up.
Might need a
little bit of Bondo, you're good to go.
Yeah, that won't happen to us though.
No, we'd never be lucky.
Hey, there was another interesting story I saw in out near where you used to work, Brent.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. A carload of teens had burglarized the neighborhood. They went in, did a bunch of auto burgs and whatnot, stole a bunch of crap, and an alert neighbor called in and gave them a description of the car, and a deputy happened to see the car, and he stopped it way out in a rural area, out in the middle of nowhere. And while he was waiting for his backup to arrive, a call came in to dispatch saying that there was a shooting approximately 5 miles away in a residential area, saying a guy shot himself in the leg accidentally. And a couple officers...
That must have been Jim.
Yeah. A couple officers went to go check that out and found out it was bogus, and the alert deputy that had this car stopped stayed with the car. And when the backup showed up, they searched the car. They found all the stolen property from all the burglaries. And when they took the people's phones and checked their phones, they found out that the call to dispatch about the shooting was made from one of the person's phones in the car. So when they got stopped, they called in a fake shooting trying to, make the deputy leave, let them go, and go to the shooting. So
Not to give him any props, but that's pretty smart.
Oh, it is. The chief of the city said, well, it was a good try. It didn't work, but it was a good try.
Yeah, no, they watch enough police on TV stuff. I guess you get smart after a while.
Unfortunately, though, it caught him another felony charge of false report of an emergency in addition to all the burglary stuff. So, good try.
You try and you try and you try, and that's what you get.
Yeah.
Just try to be a good criminal, and you get slapped on with another felony.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. 1 second.
Oh, pee time.
No. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh, lots of noise.
It must be
so
the old prostrate.
Yeah, well, next week, I think we should leave curfews for next week, because I know Oakland and a few other cities around us here have just instituted new curfew policies. I think Richmond also, to get kids off the street during the day because of the issues, obviously budgetary issues, because when you don't show up for school, the schools don't get paid. But also for safety issues.
Well,
also.
We'll cover that, yeah, because the city where I work has had that in place a couple of years and instituted a citation policy where it's actually tied into the Department of Motor Vehicles. If they get 3 truancy citations within a 1-year period, the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, will suspend their license before they even get their license until they're 18. So it's pretty cool. We'll cover that next.
Yeah, no, that's a good topic. That's a whole, we have a bunch to talk about curfew, because you got night curfew and day and all the different things that go with that.
Right. So the truancy's the pretty cool thing. We'll cover that.
Yeah, other than, we definitely
the texting?
No.
That was the one that Ed had got a kick out of in the pre-show?
Oh, yeah, but we also need to talk about the fact that, at least in California here, lately, CHP has completely gone crazy on the phone issue. We should let's touch on that real quick.
Major crackdown.
As in, huge. You can't even look at your phone without potentially getting... No, they said that on the news the other day. They said, we will pull you over for even looking at it.
In the pre-show, we were talking about it. Last night, I went out at night. Usually I'm in home watching TV at night, but I drove around last night. It was amazing how many people... You come up to a stop sign... Is Ed back?
Yeah, I'm back.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, we had some lightning and thunder to knock the DirecTV out, and the girls are scared. The dog's climbing between my legs.
Set off the ammunition bunker in the backyard?
Run for cover!
Yeah. The guys are popping out of the manhole in my backyard.
Yeah, we were
Go
just
ahead.
talking about the texting and stuff, and how I said that last night I was driving around. It was amazing how many people I pulled up next to stoplights, either talking on the phone, texting. You know, you see the phone lighting up the inside of the car. Even today, just driving down the freeway, how many people have that phone up to the ear? And the CHP's on a major crackdown, at least in California, and the fines are up there. It used to be like a $25 fine. Now, I think first time is, what, over $100, Brent?
Yeah, it's pretty high.
Yeah, it's. I remember I read an article the other day saying that during their crackdown, one guy got 2 tickets within an hour. You don't learn too much from that. But
No, that's because when you hang up after, the cop knocks on your window and says, "Hey, can you hang up your phone? I need to talk to you." Then you take off from the ticket, and then you call your buddy and tell him that you just got a ticket. That's how that works.
I told you one guy that I pulled up next to, and I was on the way to a call. It wasn't an important call, but I was on the way to a call, and I pull up next to him and see him on the phone, and he looks over at me, and I motion for him to hang up the phone, and he puts up one finger, not the middle finger. He puts up one finger telling me, just a minute. That ain't gonna.
Sorry to interrupt.
That ain't gonna work. So I interrupted him by pulling him over and giving him a ticket. So
That was fun.
You're a jerk.
here, Ed, we'll see if we get the same reaction as in the pre-show. There was a doctor in the Los Angeles area that was sending pictures of his dog to people, and he drove off a cliff. That was the same. My God, he couldn't have acted that out any better. It was the same.
It's probably the same. Well, never mind.
Yeah, he drove off a cliff. So, yeah.
Speaking of doctors driving off cliffs in L.A., did you just get the homicide report I sent you from L.A. County?
No.
It's relatively safe this year. Only 418 homicides from January to August 22nd. So.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, in L.A. County. So that's
Sounds like my city.
Not too bad. We're doing good this year.
Well, there it is. Homicide map, homicide report. Hey, what about your what's that website that you go to? Thug report something?
I haven't really looked at that thing in a few weeks. I was so disgusted with it.
Yeah, you send me the other good ones like no, never mind those.
Yeah, you don't want to see his other websites.
No,
well,
these
I was
are
just so
gross
disgusted.
ones. Like rotten.com is one of them. That's a pretty bad website. Don't go.
I'll warn all viewers not to go to that site.
Yeah, well, now they're all going to go there just to see. Basically, it's dead bodies and mutilations, and it's pretty bad. I don't go there.
It's like, if you want to be a coroner in training, that's a good site for you.
Right.
Ed checks that daily, like I check the my email. So
I do. I'm just so amazed. I'm so amazed at the humanity. I mean, how people can walk up to somebody who just got hit by a car, and they're more intrigued with filming them on their cell phone than they are giving them aid. And I'm honest to God, I'm dumbfounded. I'm like,
my God,
what
you
is
sent
wrong
me
with
one about a guy that got run over by a bus, cut in half, and the half a body sitting there talking to people.
Yeah, his legs were gone, and the people are filming him on their cell phones.
His whole hip and everything was gone. It looked like something out of a horror movie.
Well, it was.
Halloween.
The poor guy lived to boot. To make matters not make matters worse, but everybody's standing there filming this guy. They won't even help him.
The guy lived?
Yeah.
He didn't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah, they call him Stumpy. No, I'm just kidding.
I couldn't believe, after seeing that, I couldn't believe he moved. And that also taught me not to open up any more emails from you or attachments.
Yeah, I've opened a few of yours. It came as a surprise, too.
So. Yeah, well, on that note, why don't we talk about identity theft? Because this week...
Speaking of porn, don't open any of them from Brent.
Yeah, exactly. So... This week has been the week from hell, so to speak, because of the new virus-packed emails that are going around that are impersonating, yes, our friends at UPS, at FedEx, and at DHL that says, "I'm sorry, but your package has been denied at our office, but if you open this attachment, we'll happily redirect your package." Well, yeah, your package will get redirected, but it ain't going to be from UPS.
In a case like that, you simply call them and say, "Do you have a package under my name that is not deliverable?" Don't.
There's definitely.
And
there's a couple.
Those are the same ones as the Bank of America, Wells Fargo, all the ones that you see on a
dude from Nigeria giving me $1 million.
But not so much in Nigeria. I think most people are onto that now. But you get very realistic looking ones from eBay, from PayPal, Bank of America, different banks, Chase Bank. saying, hey, look, your account's been compromised. We partially froze your account. In order to avoid any interruptions to your account, click on the link below to verify your information. And people that aren't...
Definitely, well, I was going to say, there's a couple things to look for in these emails. The first one is misspellings, because most of the people that are creating these emails don't know English. Secondly, the things to look for is on the link itself. The link might look good, the text itself, but if you hover over that link with your cursor, you can see it'll pop up in most email, and it'll say where it's actually going. So when you get one from UPS and it's going to some other account that has nothing to do with UPS or even remotely looks like it, that's what we call a clue in law enforcement.
Right.
That shouldn't be clicking on it.
FBI
Really shouldn't be clicking on anything.
Most importantly, banks and financial institutions aren't going to ask you to put personal information in a link. They're not going to ask you for your PIN and your social security number and that kind of stuff like that.
I have it on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Well, I was almost a victim of a scam this week myself, looking for a job of identity theft on Craigslist of all places.
Was that the pole dancer?
Yeah, she tried to sell me the pole. But I applied for a job that was like $15, $18 an hour for a warehouse worker with a forklift certification, yada, yada. So I sent him an email, how do I apply? 2 days later, I get an email back from him, and it looked like a genuine website for a hiring agency. You know, her name was Jen from blah, blah hiring agency. So she says, here, you got to fill this application out, put your credit information in here. We do a background check, and we'll make an appointment with you to come in. And I'm thinking to myself, a background check, and I haven't even made an appointment to come into your office yet, and I haven't even filled out an application. But I'm thinking to myself,
want my bank account too? Oh, you do?
They wanted my name, my social security and all that, and I'm thinking, and it looked pretty legitimate. So I mean, obviously, something was wrong. So I typed in the company name with scam, and it popped up on Google. It said, yeah, this is a scam email, but it looked pretty legit initially, and I can only imagine how many people have fallen for that already. They're giving away.
They're definitely getting better at what they do.
Well, they're taking actual PayPal. I mean, they're using PayPal and eBay and Bank of America logos. They're making very, very realistic looking emails. They're using, if you look at the return link, they say bankofamerica.security.org. whatever. But they also add little trailer information that goes somewhere else besides that. But I could see the 80-year-old lady that's not familiar with computers all of a sudden getting an email saying, oh my God, my account's frozen. All I have to do is click on this link and put my information in. Well, by the time she finds out that, she's been duped, her account's going to be emptied out. So don't do anything. Don't put any personal information online unless you absolutely know who you're doing it with. If you have to, call the company, ask for a phone number, contact information. But most companies will not ask your personal information like that in a link on an email.
Well, if they are asking, maybe you should do business somewhere else too,
right?
Because that's not good internet security at all.
I mean, they flat out tell you if you go to their real websites, they say we do not ask for passwords or any information like that, online. But people fall for it every day. People still fall for that frickin' Nigerian scam. Hey, there's $30 million here, and I need help in the United States to launder this money. There's still people falling for that.
Well, those emails sometimes are fun to play with. If you send them back, okay, well, what do I need to give you? And he'll start going back and forth with you, and you can actually play with them a little bit.
How long has it been since you were duped, Ed? About 2 years?
About 2 minutes, apparently. Because all you need to do is reply to the email and you're screwed.
Ed almost got married.
No, not necessarily.
Ed almost got married via the internet once.
Yeah, I'm gonna give me a wife in Thailand.
Hey, Brent.
Hmm?
When Jim called at 6 and said I'll be on in 30 minutes, what did I tell you?
Well, what I'm thinking is he's in anaphylactic shock. He's so swollen up he can't push the buttons on his phone.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he's going to make it.
No, there's regular time. What are the different ones? There's Pacific time, there's mountain time, and then there's gym time.
Yeah.
And gym time is usually about 2 hours beyond what he says what he'll do.
So a half hour is 2.5 hours?
Yeah. So if Jim says at 6 o'clock he goes, I'll be on in 30 minutes, we're actually probably talking closer to 7:30, and the show's going to be over. So he could just listen to us. Hey, Jim, what's up? Hey, everybody give their greetings to Jim.
He didn't sound like he was in the best mood anyway. So for the tip of the week and the last topic for today, let's talk about credit reports. So credit reports is something that hits on the identity theft side of things, and it's something that we all, well, actually, it's something that everybody should be getting on a yearly basis, because take it from me, who had his identity thieved, it was as simple as somebody just mixing two numbers on Social Security number and me having their credit versus me having my credit. And that took almost 5.5 to 6 years to get rid of. Well, Brent, and all I really needed to do was have one of these free credit reports.
You know, Brent, when I can't put you down that bad, but when you go to a hooker and she has one of those little credit card sliding machines and slides your card, you're just asking for trouble.
She didn't have a slider thing, but I did ask her where I had to put the card.
Oh, you're kidding me. You're killing me.
It only took 6 swipes.
And my card, it just disappeared. It smelled.
Error.
Bad card swipe. Swipe again.
Oh, God, we're going to get in deep on this one.
Okay, so
the info off it.
So versus having a traumatic experience like I did, what are some of the ways that we can get these? I mean, we're entitled to a free credit report per year. Company per year, yeah. Right?
There's companies out there that are going to try to suck you in and get you to sign up for their service. Now, the sign up, there's good ones out there. If you sign up for it, and a lot of it ranges from $9.95 a month to $9.95 a month, or everything in between. Anytime somebody accesses your credit, whether they inquire about your credit, whether they open up a new account in your name, using your Social Security number, they notify you. That's right. The automatic monitoring, which is a great thing. You get notified.
Well, and people have to understand that they don't. You have no idea what people are actually like. They do this for jobs. They do it for credit cards that you don't even have yet, but they decide to run them against you. They do it for all kinds of stuff that until you get one of these reports and see how many times, you'll never know.
Well, especially for jobs. If somebody uses your Social Security number just to have one for a job, it may not affect your credit, but I mean, this could be 2 years ago, and you won't know about it until you get one of these. And the way
I used yours, and it didn't get me my job, so is that bad?
Or if your credit's
Ed
bad,
can't get hired either, apparently.
Yeah. Actually, I did. Can I mention the company name that I use for the credit check?
Sure.
Yeah, creditreport.com I had for several years, and it was awesome. I mean, honestly, anytime anybody looked at my credit at all, I got an email like Mark was saying, and it would tell me when, and I'd get on there and check, and sure enough, they'd be on there the list of things that was going on and who and what the reason was. And I really enjoyed it. It was a little expensive. It was $15 a month, but I mean,
right.
My credit's so
that's
bad.
How much.
My credit's so bad.
That's
right
how
now.
much the one I was.
Yeah.
But think if somebody steals your identity, what that's going to cost you? A lot more than $15 a month. There's people.
It cost me 5 years.
It is a nightmare to try to untangle the web if you become a victim of identity theft. So $15 a month to have somebody send you an email or notify you instantly saying, hey, look, someone's trying to open up an account using your Social Security number or your name or whatever, is to me is priceless. But for someone that doesn't want to spend everything monthly, you are entitled. There's 3 major credit reporting agencies that everybody uses. Anytime you apply for a loan or any type of credit, it's going to go through one of these companies. And one of them is Equifax, one of them is Experian, and one of them is TransUnion. Those are the only 3 that everybody uses. And you're entitled to a free credit report every year from each of those. And what somebody might do is, let's say in March, they'll get one from Equifax. Maybe in July or August, they'll get one from Experian. And then maybe in November, they'll get one from TransUnion. That way, they're all free, but you're spreading it out to see what's on there.
Well, and it changes from site to site. There can be stuff on one that's not on the other.
Exactly. There can be. So you could go to www.annualcreditreport.com to find out information. There's also a phone number if you're computer illiterate or whatever. You can call 1.
So are you saying like you?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
1-877-322-8228. That's 1-877-322-8228.
Wow. Do you do carpet commercials too?
I know. I was getting in the habit of it there.
So yeah. But that's the one that's run by the government, right? Or
and
something,
that's the one you're entitled to a free one every year from each of those. Annualcreditreport.com. You could go to the government has another website. Your access to free credit reports, which goes beyond that, is www.ftc.gov. And it gives you more information there. But I would highly recommend to anybody, if you have not got a credit report, checked on your credit report in the last year or two, after you listen to the show, go to annualcreditreport.com, get a free credit report, and see what's on there. You might be amazed. I mean, I found stuff.
Or horrified.
I found stuff from an accounts that I had closed over 5 years ago was still on there. And technically, when you close your account out, it's supposed to disappear off of that. But there's companies that say, unless you notify us in writing, we're staying on there. And that affects your credit score. So you could get one of these reports, see what you don't need on there, accounts that are closed out, notify those companies and say, take me off of there. Because it will affect your credit score and your credit report.
And that process to clear those, that is not like a 5-minute call. You have to send it in like triplicate. It takes months to clear it. It's a horrible process.
Actually, creditreport.com, I had a few of those on there, and you dispute the information they have on their site, and they actually do the work for you.
See, now that's awesome. Right. That's totally worth $15 a month.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's something to think about. That's why I'd had to flee California because of fraud, right?
No, actually, there's a guy in Northern California using my Social Security card number as we speak.
Really?
Yeah, he's up by like Eureka or something.
Other than me? Oh, no.
I'm not worried about my credit because it's in the tank right now. But
that's good.
My Social Security number. I'm just hoping that all the money they collect from him, they put it into my account.
Yeah. You know? I'm thinking it's not going to be that way.
Right.
Sadly.
It's a good thing to do. Get your credit report, because I found out that there was actually somebody with the same first, middle, and last name as me nearby that had some stuff on my report.
It even looked like him. Oh, wait, it was. Oh.
No, but I mean, people make mistakes when they pay people minimum wage to enter information on computers and stuff. It's not like they're total college graduates, and mistakes happen. So get a credit report, make sure it's you and not somebody else's information, and we'll go from there.
Well, and it's something in today's society, you have to monitor it. Nobody's going to monitor it for you unless obviously you pay one of these services to do it. And I mean, just the fact that all of our information is out with so many people these days, there's no way to protect it. So you just have to be really on the ball and really be, have some kind of program in place that makes sure that you're seeing where this information's being used.
Right. So like Ed said, I mean, there's freecreditreport.com, offers the stuff there, but the one through the government is...
Make sure to read the fine print, though, because some of these out there, you get hooked into this thing and all of a sudden you're spending $9.95 a month on credit reports and you didn't even know it and you're not taking advantage of it.
Well, it's true. That's why I said if you go to the government one, that's run through the government. You're entitled to the free reports, but there's other companies that are playing off of the words, using annualcreditreport.com, but they're putting like free annual credit report and stuff. They're still good websites, but some of them charge you, some don't. So make sure and do your homework and read what you're doing to make sure you're not getting charged for something you don't want to pay for.
If it says free, just make sure it is free.
Right.
It's that simple.
Just don't put your bank information, your PIN number, and your mother's maiden name and all that other stuff in there.
No, but if the next time that people want to write questions into the show, they want to include that to me, I'm perfectly cool with that.
Hey, do we have any shout-outs or Twitter reviews or anything?
No, I did send out a pile of books, though, so hopefully those people that get those books can actually read them and maybe give us some feedback on them, because I'd be really curious to hear what people think about the book.
That'd be nice, and I'd love to get some emails on people that maybe something's happening in your town or city or something, some kind of a crime trend that you want us to cover. Write in. You could do it anonymously.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame people. I think that part of the reluctance to write in is the fact that, I think we know this in general, is usually when cops show up somewhere, they don't usually, get the handshake, a hug, a big kiss. So now a firefighter, that's a whole different thing. So But when we're asking people to send in questions, these are anonymous questions. All you have to do is just send it in, or send it in from your friend's email account. So, those are things that it doesn't. I mean, we're happy to answer the questions and leave names out of it. That's not a big deal.
Yeah,
That's
we won't
interesting to
mention
see
names, cities, or anything. Just send in your info, your feedback, and whatnot.
Or if you want to give a name, use somebody else's name. I use that all the time.
Exactly. And what you're saying about cops not getting hugs, I used to drive a beer truck, and I was a bud man. Everybody loved to see the bud man. I went from a job where everyone loved to see me to a job where everyone hates to see me. So quite a turnaround.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, rocks and bottles or hugs and beer. It's a good deal.
You know what? You know why I think Jim's not with us? He couldn't get his.
So Jim's now dead.
He couldn't get his Yamaha started.
I think he jumped on his barbecue instead of his bike. I think he confused the two. So
it caught fire instead of the barbecue.
That's
God!
Probably how he got his wasp sting. We didn't say where.
And it's probably fuel that leaked out of his motorcycle that lit it all on fire.
You say it was his ass that all swelled up, or it was his arm that all swelled up?
Well, he blew
Well,
the
with
dust out
Jim.
of his exhaust pipe.
Yeah, I don't know where he's sticking all that stuff these days, so it could be anything.
Yeah.
So why don't we close it up? And then the important thing is that people know about the site. I just posted a bunch of articles on the site, coptalk.info. I'm going to start posting more tips and tricks and stuff on the site. You'll see them popping up during the week.
Hey, and just for new listeners real quick, it's been a long time since we covered it. Jim is a current sheriff's deputy. I am a current police officer in a city. Brent, what do you do, Brent?
Reserve deputy.
Yeah, I knew that. And he has works for another major
yes
company. And Ed,
well, it's law enforcement related, isn't it?
I have a real job, and then I work for free. Is basically what you should say.
You get to go out and play and have fun. No paperwork.
I do. I get to do all the stuff that the regular guys can't do because they have to do real police work, and I get
that's how I got into it. Have fun and no paper. And then,
it's great. I just show up and go, yeah, the beat deputy can take that. Cool.
I learned how to do that as a full-time cop.
Ed is a retired police officer in the same city where I currently work. So we're all in law enforcement, or we're in law enforcement in some way. So send in your questions and.
Well, it gives an interesting mix of from retired to, full time and part time as me, working for free on a volunteer basis. It gives a really interesting, juxtaposition. That's my big word for today.
Wow, that was big too.
That was big. Did you know it? You know what it means? Because that's a big, So, but that's something that all of these different people, we can give a pretty good idea of what, we have a pretty good understanding of when we've seen these issues in the field. So,
man, I'd love for somebody in another state that, maybe some of the things we've covered, if they handle it differently or, different penalties, whatever, in another state. Hey, let us know what's going on there. We'd like to know.
Huh?
And the tip of the week comes from Brent. Never give a hooker a credit card.
Yeah. Don't swipe. That's the tip of the week.
And hopefully,
if you use a MasterCard or Visa, because at least you can call them up and debate the charges
and cancel it.
Right,
yeah,
right.
Because I'm not taking the card back. I can tell you that much.
Don't use your debit card, whatever you do.
So on that note, which is a pretty disgusting note if you ask me, you can subscribe on iTunes to the show. We also have show notes every week that go with the shows on the site. You can ask us the question in the Ask a Cop section on the site anonymously. You can get an email subscription to the show on the website.
And buried in the website for hours looking at all the free information and free tips, stories of the week going back years, tips of the week going back years. You can get all
pretty
kinds of information.
Pretty much everything. Pretty much everything from the book is on the site in one place or another.
But don't say that because they won't buy the book.
Yes, they will because they want to support Mark.
Hey, we'll even sign the book. How's that? Free autograph.
Heck, I don't know what that's worth, but sure, I'll do it. I mean, I already work for free. So.
And once again, hopefully the Iron Warriors have joined us after Jim's remarks in the past. And thanks for putting a link on your website to us. And we have a link to you guys also. It's a great group, great people, a lot of fun.
That's Iron Warriors, mcnation.com, by the way.
That's great.
Don't get carried away.
I mean, I think we actually have a link to them. No, I mean, we have a link to them on our site. So it's a good group of people.
It's kind of a smooth-flowing show without Jim. But we need to get that oil and water mix back again next week.
Yeah, definitely.
Well,
Jim's going to call at 11 tonight. Go, am I too late?
I'm waiting for the call already.
He's playing with the clown horn and all that stuff.
He can't squeeze it. His hands are too swollen from his anaphylactic shot.
Back from the hooker too. So anyway,
he's still. Oh, never mind. Okay, so until next week, we'll see you guys then, and then we'll next week we'll cover curfews in much more depth because that's something that I think a lot of people need to know about, and especially for parents out there with kids, they need to know about it too. Because if your kid gets a ticket and it's a curfew, guess who's responsible?
Well, there's new laws. So. We'll cover that too. There's new laws saying parents are going to be going to jail and getting fines over that. So we'll cover that next week. Send in anything you want us to cover. We'll do our little homework on it and try to cover that next week. And
so basically, if your kid's a jerk, you can go to jail. That's a good deal.
Yes, that is legislation now.
That's too bad.
Next week, though.
Next week it is, and we'll see you guys then.
Hey, thanks for joining us.
Thanks. See you later.